Well, hello and welcome to a new DV or new YouTube video by yours truly. If you like what you see and what I've done, please subscribe below. And yes, welcome my crafty friends. Thank you for joining me. And if you like what you see, then please subscribe below. Press the little bell as well so that you get future notifications of when I do new videos. So that would be absolutely brilliant, and thank you very much for spending your time with me. So what I'm going to do is show you again how to do this card with a cutout, but this time I'm going to use the Papercraft Society Box 38, which I have just received. So we're going to need that. Going to need an A6 card blank, which is A5 folded in half, and you've got your A6 card blank. A waterproof ink pad, so this is my VersaFine Onyx Black. A pencil, obviously our Papercraft Society Box 38 kit, which is designed by Daisy May, so we're going to need that, and a nice little selection of watercolor pencils, so because we're going to use a little bit of the grey there. And I think, oh, and a die cutter machine, that's pretty useful, we need that. So let's get cracking, let's start. So out of our Papercraft Society kit, we will need our stamps, which I will show you, and the dies, which are here. So, and let's fold that back up and put that to one side, get our pencil. Now the handy thing with this Papercraft Society box is you've got a square die, which I hope you can see, plus you've got these three dies here. You've got one there where my finger is, you've got one here, and you've got another there, and these coordinate and match up with the three main images. Let me get a piece of white card up. Yeah, there we go. So those dies coordinate with the three polar bear image stamps that we've got. The big square is for this one here, and you've got dies to match some of the snowflakes and the snowballs. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, is get my card blank, which as I said is A6, get the square. Now obviously I've been and done all this and done some preparation. Obviously I've done one card. I have done a previous video tutorial on how to do this, but because this is new and I've only got it this week, I thought I would share so that other people who have got this kit, it's another way of using, because I used it on last month's kit as well, this technique with the flying, with the Santa in his airplane and what have you. So I thought, yeah. So don't worry about if it's a bit rubbish drawing around the square, because we're going to rub it out anyway. It's just as a guide. So what I've done is drawn around the inside of the square die. So we are going to choose our image, and I'm going to go for, I think, the what I would like, I think I'm going to use the one with his, so that's that one. Yeah, it's just a question of choosing which one. I think it's this one for the polar bear with the skis, which I think it is. Yes, that's the one. So okay, so we let me get this right. Yeah, because it's got to be down that way. So I'm just gonna tape this into place. So naturally I haven't done any die cutting, I've just drawn around the square and I've just left it. So what I've done now is getting the die which coordinates with the stamp that I'm going to use, and I've put half of it inside the box and the other half outside the box, so it's kind of half in, half out, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to set up my die cutting machine plates. Now obviously I'm using a Gemini. If you're using a different one, then you need to follow your manufacturer's instructions on how to sandwich up your plates. And I'm just gonna make sure you do it correctly. Now the secret is here. We only want to cut half of this die, so I'm going to lay my plates roughly halfway down, so it's only going to cut half of that die. So if I can just do it like that, so we have, and this is how I'm going to send it through the machine, so like that. So let's get the machine ready. Here it is, my Gemini. Get the lead out the way. So I'm just going to send it through like that. Move that to one side for the minute, and then what we do, how's that cut out? That's absolutely fine. I'm quite happy with that. So if I just slip this off, I can show you. Put that one back. So this is how it's cut. Obviously only half. So this is how it's cut, only half of the die. So what we do now is get the square die, which comes with the same set, cutting blade down, and we just slip it in behind what we've already cut. So I hope you can see that. So what I've done is slipped it behind what you've already cut and move it down as far as it will go. It will stop, and then move it over if you feel so. So you've got a nice border either side, roughly it's the same, and then we just pass that through in its entirety through the machine. And if you want to, if you feel more confident to if you feel more confident sticking that down, then absolutely do so. That'd be absolutely fine. I don't see it's going to be any problem. We'll just put that through. And you can hear that cracking. That's absolutely normal. There's nothing to worry about. We can move that to one side. We can switch our machine off and push that back. And we can then remove all of this, put our plates back, and just slightly there. So here we go. So we have got, and we can put our square back die back. We could, that's a scrap piece of card, but you can use that. You've got still bits of room where you can die cut bits, so keep that as a bit of scrap. And get a rubber and just gently rub out the pencil marks, so like that, and a little bit at the top here. Cool. And down the side. Right, so that's that done. So what we do now is I just want to make sure and reinforce those creases again, my score line, where I folded the card to make my A6. I just want to just do that. There we go. And we now get our stamp. So I am going to use, I said, the one with the skis. So I'm going to lay this roughly where I think it's going to be. Cool. Now we get our stamping platform. Again, I'm using a clear stamp, so on my stamping platform I want to make sure the clear is the right way up down there, which it actually is, so that's good. So lift that over, and then we can move our card down onto there, put the magnets down just to keep it in place, and then we've got our stamp, which we can pop onto our image. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. That is going to be really good. Push over the thing. Now, because this is a new acrylic stamp, a little tip: get your Versamark ink pad, which is your clear ink pad, which is this one. Get your Versamark and just lightly tap over the top of the stamp, and that kind of just seals it. So when you come down to place your waterproof ink pad, the VersaFine, on top, you will get a nice image, a nice crisp clear image. So you can see me doing that. That is quite good. What I am going to do, hopefully soon, very soon, is I'm going to get an overhead stand so you can look down, so you'll be looking right down when I do these videos, and I think that is going to be so much better. So give me time and I will get it all set up, and hopefully I will get these a bit more better for you. Oh cool, look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Right, let me just do this again, and because I just want it to be slightly darker, more crisp image. And don't be afraid to do that. You have got the option of doing this twice if you want to, just to get those crisper images. And also, I mean, I've used black because it shows up better on the camera, but feel free to change. You can use like a sepia or a grey. You know, I've got London Fog up there, London Fog, which is a Memento, but that's a dye-based ink pad. So if you want to use your alcohol pens, that's the one to use. But if you want to use like I've got the grey, you've got watering can, and it says waterproof on there. So if you wanted to use a grey, you can totally so use that with your watercolor pens. And also there's a brown, a vintage sepia again, which is waterproof. So if you want a brown crisp image, then you've got that option. This is one of the reasons why I like stamping, because if you've got a few ink pads, dye-based and waterproof, then you know you have got so many options opening up to you. So that's another card blank. We put that to one side, we can put that to one side. We've got our image now, and we've got it lovely and stamped. So like most of you who have seen me before, I'm just going to quickly clean my stamp off. As you know, most of you know, I get into the habit of doing this. It's just so good to do that. And take off our image. We're going to colour that in briefly. Leave that down there, and we've got a nice clean stamp. We can pop our stamping platform away because we don't need that anymore. didn't think I have. Anyway, put our stamps away. Put him back in his. Put it on the carrier sheet. And then we can pop all this back into its folder. There we go. So I'll put the packet for the dies back in a minute, because I'm sure you don't want me struggling to do that. Put that there, put all the dies, and then I can sort that out in a minute. So get our card back, and I'm just going to, now here's our image, so that's what we've done now. So we have got half of our stamp in the square and out of the square. So all we're going to do, I'm just going to add a little bit of colouring. I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to, what have we got? We've got a scarf, so let's give him some colour in his scarf. So we've got, give him a bright orange scarf. So as you can see, I'm now using water-based markers, and there we go. And let's give it him some, and I'm not going to be too precious with this, because I'm sure a lot of you will know a lot about colouring without me having to so do a lot of colouring. I just wanted to show you this technique. Give him some grey skis. So what I'm going to do now with my watercolour pencils, I'm just going to use a lightish grey. I'm going to go for a medium, and just along the arms where he's flattened himself out, and under his hat just a little bit. You don't need to go mad on this, and it's just to emphasize and highlight a few bits of where he's fallen. So I think that is going to be it for me. And then I'm just going to get my my brush marker, and then just lightly bring this colour down so it's not so stark against the edge. And we've just given him a little bit of colour, but not too much. After all, he is a polar bear, so there we go. Just bring that down. So I think that's all I'm going to do. Actually, I'm not going to go too mad on that. So that's what I've done, as you can see. So I've just, I've just highlighted the paws and a bit around his head and hat, and the other paw where he's flat out. And I suppose we could leave it like that. I think I'm not going to go too much. Obviously, if you want to colour more, I mean, you've got lights here on the where Daisy May has designed the stamp. You've got a little stick and lights and what have you. So if you want to highlight those, of course, naturally you can. You've got a little fish down here, so again you can highlight him. And we've got a little bit of blue there, so let's get pale blue. Right, I'm going to leave it at that before I spoil it. And then I think we have got a blank and we just slip that in to, so we can put our, and there we have our two. Oh, let's put yes, I forgot about these. These come with the kit as well in the box collection. I will show you these. And what I've done, I've only just die cut. It's frosty, so you've got the frosty and you've got the outer as well, but I've just used the middle bit to cut out the words. So I'm just going to get my little bit of my glue, and if you've got a Xyron sticker maker, absolutely you can use this in that and just pass it through, but I'm just going to use a little bit of glue just to put that there, and then I'm just going to obviously make sure it's up the right way, and stick that down. That's quite happy like that. And then I'm just going to a little bit of, again, this die, as I said at the beginning, is a little snowflake die that came with the kit. And again, that can just be popped down like that. And also, I'm going to use a little bit of sparkle pen. And I am just going to put a little bit by the, and a little bit round there, just to give it a little bit of, poor little polar bear falling over on his skis. So there we go, we have our card made from the Papercraft Society Box 38 kit, designed by Daisy May. So we have done 2 cards from the kit. So let me just hold that one up and hold that one up, and that's our 2 cards. Oh dear, sorry. So there we go, there's our 2 cards made from box 38 of the Papercraft Society box kit. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like what you've seen, please subscribe below, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.